My name's Danny Evans. I'm the editor and producer of a film called Wall of God and Madness. It's a film shot in Iraq between 2004 and 2007, and follows a group of young Iraqis after the war who decide to go back and rebuild their lives and tell the story of the Iraqi people from their point of view. And so they decide to make a 35mm feature film in Baghdad, and on their journey, the struggles that they go through. They only have one 35mm camera in Iraq that costs $20,000. They have no money. They struggle to try and find actresses to play the lead character of the film because women don't want to play a character, don't want to be on the streets in daylight because it's extremely dangerous territory at this time. You know, there's insurgents fighting the American military in Baghdad. There's kidnapping still going on. And the film basically kind of follows their struggle and the passion of the Iraqi people to kind of rebuild their lives after the 25 years of Saddam Hussein and after the Americans and the British have invaded Iraq. So it's basically coming from the Iraqi people's point of view. And the film climax when 4 of the crew members get kidnapped twice in one day by 2 different groups, accusing them of completely opposite.
Now that wasn't staged. That just happened.
This happened. They were shooting a shot in the. It's a very high insurgent area in Baghdad, but it's a beautiful area across the Tigris River, and the crew were on the top of a roof, and the actors and some of the sound crew were down on the ground in a big square. And gangsters originally came over and started shooting at them, kidnapped the director, shot the sound operator who was 18.
Oh, go ahead and answer it. We'll go ahead and we'll...
Hello?
How did you become the producer of this project?
I became the producer. I was started off with the project as an editor, and I gained the producer title because we're a very small production team, and so we kind of, all our jobs kind of overlapped. I started getting deals with post-production companies and post-production houses.
Is the director and crew and everybody that's part of the staff on this production, is everyone from England?
We've got 2 companies. There's ourselves, Human Film in the UK, which consists of myself, Mohammed, and Isabel Stead, who's the producer on the project. We're the British side of the company, and we also have a sister company called Iraq Al Rafidain, who are the main crew in Iraq and kind of done a lot of reshoots for us for missing footage that we need to capture or re-interviews that we need to capture.
What's going on in Iraq as far as film production crews? Is there like a
well, in Iraq it's kind of
a subculture starting to brew?
Well, I mean, when Saddam Hussein was in power, I mean, the Iraq before Saddam Hussein was in power was one of the biggest cinema capitals of the Middle East.
They loved cinema.
It was a massive industry in Iraq. Then when Saddam Hussein took power, he controlled the cinema, and he only made basically propaganda films that were allowed to be shown in the cinemas. So the culture kind of died down as far as going to the cinema, and all the equipment that they had in Saddam's time in 2003 was either sold on the black market by the Ba'athist members who controlled it, or it was destroyed in the bombings. So there's no real. From 2003 onwards, there's been no real resources within Iraq.
So right now, there's really not a lot of filming going on.
Ahlam was shot on the only 35mm camera in Baghdad in 2004.
What perspective would you hope that the audience walk out with after seeing this film?
I hope that the audience, I hope the audience have the same reaction I had when I first watched this footage. I think I first saw the document, started working on a documentary and saw the first piece of footage when I was 20 or 21. And my mindset before that was what I'd seen on the news. I'd seen Iraq as this country, and it seemed to be a kind of hotspot for problems. And, you know, it didn't really bother me that, you know, hundreds of thousands of people were getting killed. I was so distant from that. But the first piece of footage I ever saw from it was a young girl. She's actually not in the documentary, but it was a young girl. She was wearing a really bright orange top, and she was showing this art gallery. And I said to Mohammed, because I knew he'd come from Holland, I said, oh, you know, is this Holland, is this from Rotterdam? And he's like, no man, this is Baghdad. And I was like, what? This is so far from what I know of Iraq, what I've been perceived of. And, you know, the Iraqi people are such a passionate people, and they've made me think a lot about life, that for everything they've gone through, and through everything they've, you know, deal with on a daily basis, they live life with such passion and such appreciation that it's made me look at my own life and look at what I've got, and the things that I complain about in life are kind of really minuscule, and it's made me appreciate what I actually have in life. I have a blessed life that I have, you know, I have a house to go to, I have a car, I have a job that pays me, I have friends, I can walk out on the street and not worry about getting shot or that my life could end like that. And I hope, you know, everyone who watches this film comes away with that other side perspective